Well, welcome everybody back to the Attach and Pass podcast. I am one of your lovely hosts, After Crash, and I'm with my two now consistently reoccurring uh, team members, Jacob and Nicole. How's everyone doing today?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
I'm doing fine. Having a pretty easy week,
Yeah,
so it hasn't been too bad.
we're recording this a little bit later because we did a little bit of post rotation testing, but we were having a little bit of fun. I've had a few games where I've makes me question Darebox for sure. Um, but
It's a
post
lie.
rotation is not what we're here to talk about. That'll be in a future podcast. We're going to talk about what has happened in the past week. We had Vancouver and apologies if I pronounce this wrong. Fortaleza,
I think that's correct.
Fortaleza, Fortaleza.
I'm gonna look up a
That
pronunciation.
Close.
the other regional, Vancouver and the
The
not
other
streaming.
regional.
The other regional with a better map, I will admit.
It is
Much better.
Fortaleza,
Fortaleza. Okay,
Fortaleza.
second one was right. Okay.
according to
Uh,
Google.
so Vancouver and Fortaleza. We're gonna have an update to Worlds with the spectator media passes and the price increase. We're going to talk about the just announced today Ace Trainer program. We have some thoughts on that, and we're going to talk about a little bit of the dawning of the prismatic format. So I think we should start with this weekend with Vancouver because we have someone in here that made top 128.
128th exactly.
Congratulations.
Wait, how? I didn't even
Exactly.
go. Oh, not
Yeah.
me.
No, congratulations, Nicole.
Thank you.
The team was rooting for you the entire time, and we're greatly happy that you've made this placement. How did the entire uh, regional feel that you made your first day too,
Mhm.
and and just overall, just your run total?
Yeah, so I think day one, I got very fortunate with my matchups. Um, I think in those fortunate matchups, I still faced a lot of adversity. I faced two Raging Bolt, round one and round two. Um, I ended up tying one because game two, I got donked after I won game one. Um, so that was, that led to a game three that did not finish, in typical Snorlax fashion, which is what I played, I should say. Um, so,
And there goes all the viewers.
yeah.
Just like that.
But stuff like that kind of popped up throughout the day, and I kind of had to work with that. That ended up leading to a 404 record to get into day two. Um,
Undefeated.
undefeated day one. Um, Azul would say that that's not truly undefeated, and I hear him. He's probably not wrong, but I did not have any L's, no losses. But yeah, I hit two Golden Go. I'm sorry, I hit two Raging Bolt, three Golden Go. One was Kobe Kawasaki. Shout out, really awesome set, honestly. Um, Kobe was playing the single prize Golden Go. So like my cornerstone wasn't really cornerstoning as much as I would have liked it to. Um, so we ended up tying that set, clearly because I would either win or lose, and frankly, Kobe was clearly Kobe's a good player. Um, if Kobe did not have that single prize Golden Go tech, that would have been a win for me. I think if we had an untimed set of three, the more I think about that set, he probably wins it. I'm not gonna lie. But I think we played with great pace, just didn't finish still. I faced an Arch Aladon that had Max Belt. As soon as I saw the Duraludon on the board, I was like, oh man, okay. Like we gotta be on our, I mean, clearly we're always on our A game, but I knew like this game especially, we gotta be locked in. Arch is not a good matchup for Snorlax. And then I saw a lot of weird things start to pop up through the deck. a lot of weird attackers that you wouldn't typically see. Forgive me for forgetting the name of the Pokemon, but there was a single prize future metal type Pokemon that was in there.
Iron
And
Moth.
Boulder, possibly Iron Boulder.
I think
yes,
Iron
thank you.
Moth,
It
right?
was, I think it was Iron Boulder. I forget.
Boulder.
Yeah,
Was it
maybe
was it a was it like an insect looking one? It
Hold
was
on.
like a
it was an
round boy.
insect looking one.
Did he
So
do
It's
eight?
moth
the
then.
attack was 80 plus 40, I believe.
Moth. It's moth then,
Okay.
I believe.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, so like that was in there, which was totally a fine flute target for me. I anyway, they Arvined and they got max belt. And from there I knew, oh, okay, this is not worst case scenario arch for me. And sure enough, I hit a flute, hit a Greninja, got it into the active. I pennied the Rotom, and there was a scoop. And I did that for 2 games. There were no outs to stall. So that was very fortunate. That going off of the fortunate matchups. Um, Going on to day 2, I hit 2 Lugia, a Golden Go, and a Dragapult. Beat Dragapult, beat um, Golden Go, and I did take 2 losses to Lugia. Um, Round 1 got a little bit cheesed. We ended up finishing game 1 in 20 minutes, and then we did not finish game 2 because my opponent primal turboed every turn, and the judges did not really do judge things with that. Um, could have and probably should have done more with that, but putting that aside, lost that one. Lost that was round 1, and then round 4 ended up hitting another Lugia. Took that to 3, and did not come out on top, unfortunately. But we did beat a Dragapult 2-0, and I had a very intense game against a Japanese player on Golden Go. They were on Golden Go, Togekiss, Dusknoir, and they got pretty fortunate on some Togekiss rolls, taking 2 prizes off of a couple lax. Um, and so it put me in a very tight predicament when I finally did get the Cornerstone lockout. And even then, they were then going for continuous coin toss, which they weren't as fortunate on. So it wasn't the tallest task to work around, but that player definitely made me lock in and play at the best of my ability for sure. So I mean that was a very good game. That was one of the games that it's almost a shame either of us had to lose.
Mm-hmm.
I think we both played very very well. Um, so yeah, so day 2 I ended up finishing 2-2. So total at the event was 624, which put me at exactly 128th place. So very fortunate, but the round 1 Lugia ended up hitting 17th, and then Kobe ended up hitting. Let's get this right. Let's put some respect on his name.
I mean I
Kobe
have it
got
up. He
15th.
got 15th.
So like 15th and 17th right there. Just absolutely drew my resistance sky high.
Mm-hmm.
Drove rather. So fortunate in that regard. And it worked out. I again hit 128th. The list I played felt very strong. That was a homebrewed uh, 60 that I've been bouncing off a lot of teammates. Shout out Ben, shout out Joe. We were cooking that lax list for a while, and I mean the whole team has helped me test. Um, I think, I mean, I looked. I was the only person who played that exact 60 in day 2, which I kind of figured. But we played a
Yeah.
Heroes Cape build with Rotom, 1 Cornerstone, 1 Mimikyu. We went heavy. We played 4 fans, which I think definitely punishes the current meta, and I think it showed. Really punishes Pult. That was really a Pult tech, but I only hit 1 Pult the whole tournament. I didn't even face one day
Mm.
1. Took me until day 2 to hit one, which just goes to show you tech for something, and it's like repellent. You're not going to hit it. Um, but the list felt fantastic. I'm really going to miss Snorlax. I know you either love or hate Snorlax. I love it. I'm going to miss it dearly. Um, but yeah, I mean, Vancouver was definitely a success. Right now, I'm at 530 points. I'm at 151st place in North America. So I'm planning on the last four events in North America. You know, being Atlanta, Milwaukee, Portland, and then NAIC. Um, I really got to aim for a top 64 here ASAP. But a Worlds player should be able to do that, honestly. So I'm up to the task. I got to show that I am a Worlds player. I think I have begun to show that at the right time this season. I've kept myself alive throughout each point of the season, and I kind of control my destiny here. If I do Worlds player things, I'll go to Worlds, and if not, I'm going to build and grow for next year. So we're at a
Yeah.
good spot in Vancouver. I think definitely was a big part of that for sure.
That's probably the most positive statement I could hear about. I would love to see you at Worlds.
Thank you.
As as I did toss my hat in the spectator um pass range, but we'll have that conversation in just a few minutes. But the regional that um we didn't see on stream was the Fortaleza tournament.
Laser.
That Fortaleza that I actually know this. It was won by but for the masters and the seniors division there
Yeah.
it was run by the Fernandez brothers. um
They literally
the,
both won with the same 60, I
the
believe.
exact same 60. That just shows how absolutely dominant those two are. Especially Vinicius. My man can cook when he gets into a regional. Yeah, looking at this deck, it seems pretty usual for a bombless Pult, which I have noticed a lot of success in. I do like the Klefki addition as well. Um,
It looks like the same exact list that he played to EUIC. There
okay.
there were no changes.
You just got it like that, you know.
Mhm. I guess he
You
was
just
like, "Oh, I got 5th place at EUIC. I could probably still do well at Fortaleza."
yeah. Um, but yeah, I mean, Zach 60. Me knowing this deck, I see no differences from just glancing at it. Um, yeah, I just congratulations to those two. Um, there was a surprisingly it's so weird because when we look at Vancouver top eight, there's not a single Guardian site. However, for this regional
Yeah.
is it is half the format. Oh, it does not have the format, half the top eight. And like it's extremely surprising, especially the top one running Pheasantipity. Um, and it seems like it is ditching the Spirit too, which does make sense when you're playing Klefki. Um,
I think
but
another interesting thing is in both top 8s, we had exactly 1 Roaring Moon for some reason.
I think that's definitely a weird occurrence, but
a
something to
sneaky
note.
pick, yeah. Um,
I mean, I've been saying like I think Moon is pretty decent. I mean, I think that's become more true lately than maybe when I was first saying it, but it definitely has its place. I think it's very niche, and I think you have to get a lot of reps in. Like that's why we're seeing like just dedicated players to that deck, like basically exclusively doing well with it. It's definitely kind of its own like going back on my Chen Pao days, it's kind of like Chen Pao. It's like got its own like little cult, and everybody else is kind of like looking at you weird for playing it. But like, it's definitely got its place right now. It definitely can win games and do well at tournaments. So I'm kind of glad to see it doing well. It put some validity to what I was saying because I know I sounded crazy to you guys, but I think Moon has it's been good. So
yeah. I do also like to say the only Roaring Moon player that in top eight um at our on our south side is actually only has two recorded placements, and the last one was LAIC 2017 at 48th.
Which is crazy.
He
yeah,
came back.
yeah.
shout out to them. But yeah, looking at the top 16, Palkia knocked out snuck in the Surreal Edge. Surreal Edge was surprising. Um, but yeah,
And both regionals were won by Dragapult. In Vancouver, we had Andrew Hedrick with Dragapult Dusknoir.
Um, yeah, I was thinking the opposite in my brain, but you're right. I was thinking Golden Go one, but no, my brain is
No,
trying to
no.
rewrite
So
history.
I have a track record, which I forgot to get my crown. I have a track record of guessing the second place deck of regionals. And if anyone listened to our last episode, Golden Go was my pick for Vancouver. Second place. I'm sorry. Listen, I am sorry, Lucas Zing. I cursed you with my second place guess.
yeah. Um, I do think it's funny that we're discussing that, and we can just kind of say at this point that Dragapult is clearly the top of this format. Without a shadow of a doubt, it's definitely one of the strongest. Winning nearly
Oh
every
yeah,
single regional that it went in.
it just
Uh,
straight up replaced Drago.
yeah. Um, but yeah, congratulations to those two, Andrew and Vinicius. Um,
I also
and
want to say congrats to my friend Joe, Joe Figliano,
Hmm.
doing very well in Vancouver. Joe got 10th place, so shout out Joe playing Lugia. That was very, very cool to see, and I'm very happy for Joe. So shout out Joe.
best Lugia player, Vancouver.
Hmm.
I'm
Hmm.
just now seeing that ninth place was Reggie Drago, which is wild.
Oh yeah, Reggie Drago was on a
Reggie,
tear.
Reggie, I believe was undefeated day one. I think they
Yes, it
were 8-0.
was.
Yeah,
It was they were
Yeah,
8-0. It was crazy. And I think it was this specific person too.
yeah,
it
Christian
was. Yeah,
Labella.
yep.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
they went
they
crazy. The second next
all
Reggie
they've
Drago was
used for a
33rd.
while. They've been
Hmm.
using Baltimore since, or they've been using Reggie Drago since Baltimore.
They've been using Baltimore since Reggie Drago.
Yeah. Blah, 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 blah.
I mean, hey, if you got a deck and you're winning 5K off of it,
Yep.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Um, but like I said, congratulations to those two. Really excited to see what our the coming regional is. I believe the one that's coming up is the last one in this format. Um,
Are you correct on that? I think there's one at the beginning of April somewhere.
yeah, true. Was there?
I think there's like another 2 or 3 in this format. Because we have Stockholm in 2 weeks. And we have, bear in mind I could just be straight up wrong.
I don't see one that is
Uh
that.
Brisbane,
Brisbane is when?
March 29th to 30th.
Okay. Well, Brisbane would be the last one. Um, well, is it rotation on the 29th?
No, rotation is on the 11th of April.
It was April. Okay, okay. Um,
Like the day before Atlanta.
Atlanta Regional. It's gonna be crazy. I think the last time I did a format shift like that was, I see 23. I think that was a set change. That there might have been another one that was. No, I feel like there was one that was basically changed at that time. Um, but
Yeah.
yeah,
So we have Stockholm and then Brisbane.
yeah.
Those are the last 2.
I do eventually want to go to an Australia regional. I have a friend that's down under that I love so much, and I would love to see him. Um, but yeah, good luck to anyone who's going to be at those two regionals. But
Good luck to
moving,
anyone still in this format. Ugh.
but moving forward, we are getting close to the end of the season, and we have updates that the spectator and media slash content creator passes have gone live. There is a price increase from last year. It is currently $100 for 3 days, and I believe it's 39 for a single. Um, I put my hat in on the spectator. As much as I'm getting a lot of attention as of recently, I felt that my content creation wasn't up to snuff just yet. So I pushed myself back a little bit to just do spectator. It seems that it was a good idea, as I have seen some content creators like in the 30 to 50K range. Followers are just not getting it, like immediately
Yeah,
just
they're
being,
denying a lot of people.
yeah. They want some mega, they want Dan TDM is
Yeah,
what they're looking for.
they want Dan
Uh,
TDM and Wolf Glick.
they want Dan the Pokemon. That's what they want. And, yeah, so I'm just gonna toss my hat in for the spectator. I do hope I get it. I don't know if any of you two threw your hat in for the interest list.
No, I
No,
my wallet doesn't like that.
I'm holding it to if I hit my invite, I will be there, and if not, I will not. So
And regardless, I will be having a barbecue for any of the team members that don't go.
I'm a few hours away, sadly. But yeah, so I'm not necessarily praying myself that I'm going to get to Worlds. I would love to get a Worlds invite, but that at this point required me to go like top 16 at Atlanta, or just win a
Just
regional
that
and then
should
top
always be
four.
the goal. Just win the
Yeah,
regional.
100%. Yeah, I'm gonna not just win the regional, I'm gonna win Worlds. That's the plan.
shoot
But
for the moon and you'll land amongst the stars, or whatever
exactly.
Dr. Seuss
Yeah,
said. I forget.
Dr.
yeah.
Seuss. I'm not a fan of Dr. Seuss, but that's a story for another time.
Yeah.
um, but yeah, so I hopefully for whoever gets it, you'll be getting emails around March 23rd, 24th. You'll be getting 48 hours to pay for them. Now, mostly I will be expecting myself to hit worlds, but I'm going to be hoping for anyone who is in the same boat as me. We have finally been given information about that rewards program. 9 months
Mm.
since
Is it 9?
announcing
I
it.
thought it was 8.
I think it's been
The
closer
benefit
because
was
I I
3. Like,
I believe the article stated last June.
That's
Um,
so
I think that
bad.
makes sense. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
because
adds.
I think it was announced at NEIC.
Yeah.
Um, anyways, um, for anyone who does not know, they have finally put out the Ace Trainer program, is what they're calling it. They originally announced it as this rewards program for people who did not make worlds, but still had trainer points that they could spend. I remember that they stated like spend what you have, you can use, and
I can probably
program that they
find the
gave
original
us.
news post.
Yeah, if you find the original news post, um, the program now is if you're 200 CP or over, you're getting one card. You're getting a
Yep,
single card,
single card. Looks a lot like
not in Latin
this.
America.
Listen, I have so many problems with it. Okay, if when they first announced it, if they would have just said, "Hey, we're introducing a new program, like so if you get so many, championship points, you're gonna get like a promo card." That's all they had to say. That's it, and everyone would have been like, "Cool, that's awesome." No, instead they announced, "Hey, we're gonna have rewards, so you better be fucking hyped." And then 8 months pass, and they're like,
One card, singular
a
card.
card.
So,
This
like,
cost us 1 cent to print. And like, what about
Now,
like people that play
I
VGC
was
and
just gonna
Go?
say,
They
yeah,
don't
like,
give a shit about their one card that's
it's
worth nothing.
and well, so like, okay, first off, to my knowledge, this promo is gonna be like basically unplayable, right? For the
Yeah,
card game.
it's not
It's
even gonna be
right,
good.
which I'm not saying it should be playable. I'm not. I'm
Well,
just putting
yeah.
out that it's basically meaningless. Truthfully, um, I mean, okay, oh, I hit 200 points. Okay, who? Anyway, so VGC players, Go players, like that that like that's criminal. That's got to be so demoralizing if you're a VGC player right now, like you got told 8 months ago, 9 months ago, whatever it was, you got told in June that like, hey, listen, you're gonna be able to like get rewards now. Like we don't have cup mats for you, but we don't have plans to do that, by the way. We could do that. We could literally give you the same mat. We could make a smaller mat for your Switch setup. We're not going to do any of that. But what we are going to do is we're at least going to have a rewards program where you can get stuff. And like, I
One
think
thing.
everybody had the assumption. Well, this was 8 months ago, 9 months ago.
Yeah.
That's what they were told. And so I think even the assumption I still think was like, yeah, it's going to be a lot of TCG stuff. But the point was it felt like there were going to be options. That was a general consensus from like everybody. And
Yeah.
I know they were vague, so whatever. It's like, oh, we didn't actually say that. Okay, but like nobody expected what we actually got, which was a single promo card that VGC players, Go players literally have what like they're going to frame it for the time they hit 200 champion points. Like come on. Like what are they actually going to do?
Um,
It's just a waste of resources,
At
honestly. At this
at the
point,
very
just save the
least,
paper and just pretend like this never happened.
at the
yeah.
very least, they could have had like an alt art that you get at 400 champion points. That makes it rare. That makes it have value. No, this is something that everyone that's gone to like a couple regionals is gonna have.
Well, like
Yeah.
the whole I guess what we also get like a virtual sleeves and deck box.
That's a bigger slap in the face than nothing,
Well,
and
I
we
was
all
gonna
know
say
it.
like why could we at least not just get like a deck box, like an IRL deck box? Like even if it's just one of like we know the Pokemon deck boxes are not fantastic, but even if it was just the same quality, at
Yeah.
least there was a tangible object that I could like use in my daily TCG life. Um, but no, we get a promo card that you can use as a V star marker. Except, oh wait, we don't have those anymore.
IV
So,
stars. Um,
you know,
yeah. So I can't remember who said this, but I remember seeing someone have an opinion that was it would even how you stated about how it's just an absolute garbage card. I haven't necessarily seen what the card does. I think it's been the same um, throughout the other years that the other regions had. Um, but someone made the great assumption that even if this one card was like decent, it would let the okay players or good players at locals just farm, and it would like
right.
have a
Mhm.
very bad it was just have a very bad stink when it comes to needing to have this one card, so you need to play for 200 points.
Yeah,
um
no, and I totally that's why I mentioned like I don't think they should make it a good card. I just think this whole thing being a promo card is just like
Yeah.
it's a flop in general. Like the whole from the get-go, this is an L.
yeah. um
So
It's the least amount of effort they could have put in,
I
I guess
that's
is what I'm
probably
getting at.
like a good way of putting it, honestly. And like I hate to sound like I'm like just being so harsh right now, but like truly I don't know what to say if I'm being honest. Like it took 8 to 9 months to reveal this. Like it feels like they forgot about it for a ton of time and then
you know,
scrambled to put it together. Like
you
it's
know who they did forget? Latin America. This program ain't for them.
Yeah, that's even
Yeah,
worse.
I'm glad you mentioned that. That also, like, I think the way they worded it was due to logistical, was it difficulties? Is that what
It's
the
something
Something
like
like
that.
that.
okay, logistical something due
Crap.
to
BS.
due to it being harder to get them there, we're just not going to try.
Are we
Yeah.
sure it was June?
That is a statement. That
I'll
is a
find the
sentence from
I'll find the
Pikachu.
statement.
That's what I'm trying to do. That's I
Yeah,
was
I mean, like this, mind you, right? Honestly, no, I'm gonna say some stuff here.
Have at
So
it. Go at it, Queen.
during the
go at it.
Pokemon Presents that we just had, they had a whole segment on how they're including Latin America more. We have this what was it? There's a game coming out or something. There's cards coming out that are going to be in Spanish now, right? That was part of the Pokemon Presents.
Yeah.
and like that was a whole deal that they were making. So they were basically like, I'm not it kind of feels like they're using that as like just like the quickest way to have like good PR, and just like, oh, we're doing this, we're making the game more accessible, and like, and those are good things that they should be doing. Like, we need more of that. But then for them to just turn around a month later and be like, hey, this cool promo card to reward trainers, which by the way, like that doesn't, that sentence shouldn't exist. But anyway, like, hey, this one card to reward trainers for playing our game and hitting 200 points, um you guys aren't getting it. You're just not getting it because it's more difficult to do it for you, just by a little, but enough for us to not want to do it. And so we're just going to hold off on that. But hey, you guys should be happy because we're getting booster boxes out there so you can give us your money,
Right, right.
and you're gonna like that. I
So,
think it's like, honestly, like, foul. I really think like they need to look inward for them to like use coin inclusiveness, if you will. Like, that just feels like so, like, that's just like low hanging fruit in my opinion. Like, that's something that, like, those cards should have existed 5-10 years ago. Okay. And now you're just now getting Latin America proper cards. It's not, they're still not going to have it right now. I don't believe it. It's 2025. We still don't have them right now. And on, you finally get there, you make that announcement, you make it a big deal, and then immediately after, this one thing, the one thing in the rewards program that you can get, you're just not going to allow those people to get it. I think it's foul,
Yeah.
honestly. It's like
so
embarrassing.
I did check it. It was, they did state last June. Um,
Also, it was June. I'm way far away.
yeah,
All right, what's it say exactly?
this last June. This happened last June. They announced it because they announced it with the point change.
It,
Um,
do you have the exact wording? That's what I'm trying to find.
Last June, several changes to the 2025 Pokemon Championship Series were announced, including an update to how players qualify for the World Championship Series via championship points. New qualification system changed how trainers, blah, 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 blah. Um, and find a new championship point season rewards program was teased to provide trainers of all experience levels something to battle for. Today, that new program is being unveiled, complete with details for the 2025 season Ace Trainer rewards.
So they used the
Why is
term
it,
Ace Trainer Rewards back then
and why is it plural? What is the
because they didn't
term?
know what they were doing back then.
What is the term
Reward.
today? Is it Ace Trainer status? Is that what it is?
Ace Trainer reward.
Really?
Ace
They
Trainer.
took the S out.
No, 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 it's Ace Trainer rewards. It's still rewards.
Okay, so they're just lying. So it's just
Yeah.
like, it's just actually, is that not, I might be
Okay.
talking out of my butt a little bit, but I'm gonna shoot my shot here. Is that
Okay.
not just straight up false advertising?
So we actually did get the website to work now. When I originally checked it, it was 404. Now we actually have information on this.
I
Um,
want to look.
so, fun fact: Unite players do not get this rewards program. They are completely.
That's, do they earn champion points?
I believe they do.
So like, what? What? That's wild. Like, honestly, if they didn't earn champion points, I could be like, well, I guess that's their argument and it's lame, but like,
So
there it is.
okay, so
But
they
like,
do. Okay, so there is a eligibility system for Unite. Trainers from the EU, and Oceania rating zones in the top Pokemon Unite teams, each made up of a player of maximum 6 trainers, will qualify for Ace Trainer status based on their team's CP leaderboard status standings at the end of the season. Unite players are also rewarded to the Unite team and not the trainers individually. So trainers in the qualifying Unite team will be eligible to earn the Ace Trainer as the qualifying Unite team status, subject to the applicable eligibility criteria. If, for example, a trainer leaves a Unite team during the season, such outgoing trainer will not be eligible for the ace trainer status, where their old Unite team has qualified for such ace trainer statuses. So basically, if you don't um you don't necessarily get the status, your team does. So it's not directly tied to you. I also
Mhm.
want to point out the absolute insanity that I'm seeing. Oceania can only have 2 qualifying teams. 2 teams can qualify.
You know what? I just have no words. This is so pathetic. They might as well have done nothing. Some
Yeah.
Listen, I
By the
I
way,
absolutely adore Pokemon, but somehow they constantly drop the ball, and
yeah.
even when we expect nothing, they
Okay.
drop the ball.
So once a trainer, okay, so this is actually updates to the status of it. Once a trainer accumulates sufficient championship points to reach to reach Ace trainer status and has satisfied the eligibility requirements as applicable for individual trainers and Unite teams, they will receive their rewards following the conclusion of the 2025 Championship Series season. Ace trainers can expect
Yeah,
their rewards shipped by January 31st, 2026. You
yeah.
don't get it
So
for a whole year.
so multiple rewards again, which that would make this all better. Like I said, if there were different tiers with different artworks and shit, there's now value there because they're rarer.
Hmm.
That that makes people want to go for them. It's nice to have something that's rare and worth a good chunk of change. Like if there was like an alt art one for 600 championship points, that would be like amazing. Like that would be probably like hundreds of dollars and shit. This
Hmm.
thing's going to be like $3.
Mhm. Yeah. Um, yeah, so I do see the digital reward. They put the rewards in quotes for the TCG Live. That is so funny.
Oof.
Wow, that's insane. This Wow, what a joke of a rewards program. It's not even a rewards program. There's nothing. It's
Yeah,
just
it's not a rewards program. It's
constellation
a
prize.
promo for trying.
Yeah,
It's
you got it for
a
participating a few times.
it's a gold sticker.
It's a gold sticker. I want my 24th sticker. Just
Oh man.
I think it's absolutely crazy. Um, just this also just yeah, due to logistic issues, trainers in Latin America are currently ineligible to receive rewards.
Ineligible.
Ineligible. Yeah.
That's yeah. Awesome. Thanks, Pikachu.
Yeah. Also, Big Pikachu, I want to bring it back to the Unite teams. Only 12 from EU and NA can qualify.
Nice, nice.
26 teams total and have this stats.
For a
Lord,
promo card.
for a single promo card. Actually, I don't even know if they get the promo card because they're referencing it as a status of a team.
I would imagine the players would get an
It'd be
individual
really,
card.
really,
Wow.
really, really funny if they sent each team one card.
That would be.
And they all just have to share it.
They have to share it.
Like that
Uh,
would be so funny.
That would be hilarious. Toss the celebratory fanfare around. Good lord. Yeah, that's I think I think are probably at this point near half our rant about this program
Hmm.
describes how we feel. This is an
Right.
absolutely
I am
this is
super stoked.
This is an absolute disgrace upon this community, a slap in the face for people who participated in regionals enough where that they're at the edge of qualifying, yet people who are significantly lower will still get the exact same rewards. Um, I think it's total. I think it's disrespect. I truly think it's just this
Yeah.
is just disrespectful. Um,
Yeah.
like it isn't even the fact that it's one. It's the fact that there's just so much workaround with this. The fact that Unite teams barely can qualify for it, and
And they only get one as a whole team.
Well, we don't know that
well, yeah,
part.
we don't know that. Latin
I'm gonna
America,
spread that misinformation so much though.
Jacob, the spreader of misinformation. But it's just it's sad. The fact that this is the only reward for this season is insane.
There is a mixed reaction online though. Like I see a lot of people saying the same stuff that we are, but there are some people that are genuinely just like, "Oh, this is really neat. This is cool. I'm going to try a little harder now." So
These are the people that get fifth at all of their league cups, and then they go 0-4 drop at the closest regional. That's the only regional they can go to. All right. I'm not poor shaming. I'm just saying you're not a good player. Because you know why? I used
shit.
to be that way. All right.
That's right. I'm still that way.
I think the problem for me at the core of it is that the information they led with in June was misleading to
Yeah.
the final product that we are given now, which to me, I am left to interpret that something ended up changing because they were originally saying rewards plural and now there's only one, so something happened. I don't understand what could have happened that was so drastically impactful that they lost all of the power to have more than one reward, but something must have really went wrong and I'm praying for their recovery. So let's just go ahead and think about Big Pikachu for a second, just a moment of
John
silence.
Pikachu.
Whatever they're dealing with, I hope they
John
get their shit
Pikachu.
together so we can stop suffering as a collective group. Amen. Okay.
I
All right.
just want
Let's
I
move
just want a
on.
Shinx promo card.
So, are you
um,
saying if it was a Shinx promo card, you wouldn't be upset?
I'll be less upset.
That's a fair answer.
I would still be very disappointed that it would be the only card. However, seeing that Shinx, I will at least smile when I say it.
Mm, okay.
But ending off a rant, let's talk about the
So,
ending.
well, actually, I do have one more thing to say. One more
Uh-oh.
thing to say.
Yeah.
When you do finally receive your awesome promo card, why not protect it with an FCBC sleeve? They're durable,
Mm.
they
That's
don't
what I'm
bend
saying.
corners, they don't rip, and they're
You
great.
can't see my screen. You can't see my face, but I got whites. They're great.
That's
They're
I got
very
blood
nice.
reds right here. They're my
They're very
absolute
nice.
favorite. I also have a deck right
Nice.
here sleeved in blood reds.
I'm a teal girl,
And if anyone pays
honestly.
attention to my cam, I do sit here and shuffle them quite often during the podcasts because
Oh yeah,
they feel
I've
like
been hearing it.
butter and it makes me happy.
Mm.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Let's get an after crash riffle in here. Fantastic.
Mm,
Very
I'm
nice.
Was that even heard?
no. And I'm leaving that in because it's funny. It's just like, here we go. Fantastic.
Fun fact
Yeah,
about
that's just power.
FCBCs, actually, I literally did not replace a single sleeve day one
Hmm.
or day two combined.
Actually, I have another fun fact about FCBC. They were used by the champion Andrew Hedrick.
This is true. So,
So,
if you want
Champion
that
worthy sleeves.
champion diff,
if you'd like to buy some, go to fcbcarmor.com.
hmm
Thank you for sponsoring FCBC.
Yeah. Now we should probably go on to what we are now describing as the dawn, well, not even the dawn, the dusk of prismatic. Those are two different things. Um, we've had a few regionals with this format. We've clearly seen that Destor has taken over. Um, some decks have sneaked in. We had Kloth win EUIC. But I think at these final moments, these final weeks, I think at this point we all know what deck is the best in the format.
Right. Golden Go.
And sure. um, As a Guardy bot, I do wish it was Gardevoir. I still play it locally. Um, However, it's it has not been performing well. Dragapult is a really hard matchup. Um, I do enjoy the Guardian Mirrors. Um,
Ew,
However,
why?
because I like to think, I like to
Ugh,
use my brain. All right.
ugh. Burst roar.
You too. This, but yeah, I final salute to this current rotation. In the future, we will be discussing our final thoughts, our final prayers. That is of the F block rotation and onto a bright new G. Um,
We're gonna be
and
making memorials and shrines to what we'll miss.
exactly like Lugia, which was my second highest placing in Charlotte 23. I will admit that. For some reason, Charlotte has always been my top placement. It's
Hmm.
very weird. Um, but yeah, so I just want to say a thank you to the F block for existing, I guess. Um,
And good riddance.
Good riddance. You know what's actually interesting? I think still out of all the rotations we've currently had, at least the ones that were given blocks, we can all happily say D can go screw itself.
I
Yeah.
barely remember what was in D.
I think, I think, I think, I think E was a pretty healthy
Now, see,
format.
and I don't even E. Yeah, I don't remember what was in D. I'm gonna be honest. E was the one that I started in. It's the one I know the most, right? Because that's quick ball and um, like the single strike stuff, right?
Quick ball, I believe, was D rotation.
Was it?
Yeah, it was. You're right.
Oh,
Yeah, quick ball was
okay.
D.
Then
Yeah,
I guess I was a little bit in D.
yeah. I guess technically C rotation would be the proper term for it. When we got rid of tag teams and Ds.
I
Um,
do I do think losing F block is like one of the most impactful rotations we've ever had, at
Hmm.
least
yeah.
since I've played,
Mhm.
because we lose a lot of stuff that is in like damn near every deck.
Yeah. I did actually notice from last format change, they did the exact same thing that we're doing right now. So, um, next set outside off after Journey Together, we're getting Shaman as a bench lock, is a bench protect. Um, for F block rotation, we had a little while where we just didn't have energy recovery. we had
Mm.
uh, we had Miriam. That was really it.
I remember when people were using Miriam.
Well, not F block,
Ugh.
G block. G block had well, technically it was F block. So F block had Miriam when Scarlet and Violet 1 came out. And then what was it? It was literally the next set that they added Super Rod. Like like it
Paldea,
like like
right?
yeah, Paldea Evolved. It was a really like rough time to toss things in the discard, especially with Ultra Ball being around still. Ultra Ball the GOAT, as always.
Yeah.
Um,
I generally like formats at the beginning though because they're so rough. It I am somebody that believes restriction breeds creativity.
mhm.
I think that's fair.
Yeah. As the monstrosity of a Terrorbox deck I've been creating, states,
Yeah, you're
uh,
restricting your ability to play the game.
I'm just saying, I won a few games. But yeah, so I feel like we're all I don't know if say happy is a term, we're more just excited for the future of what's happening.
Yeah.
Um, Prismatic was more or less there until we got rotation, even though that it was a pretty decently meta changing set for the time being. Um, but yeah, does anyone have any final closing sentences that we could possibly say?
I'm ready
Um,
for something new. I'll
yeah.
miss some cards in F block, but I said good riddance earlier for a reason. I'm over it. I'm ready for new stuff.
Um, yeah, I'm feeling better about rotation now than I was a while ago. I do think like there's a lot of open space for creativity in the upcoming formats. I'm definitely looking forward to that. Um, I definitely think like if we're looking at like prismatic specifically, yeah, like it was like Badoo and like okay, Badoo's just like kind of a nuisance that just gets worked around. I mean, it's impactful, don't get me wrong, but like it doesn't feel quite as like life altering as like a lot of people were making it out to be, in my opinion at least. Um, but putting prismatic aside, like if we're just looking at like the upcoming formats as a whole, like I'm definitely looking forward to it. It's going to be very different. It's going to be like a much different game than what we've been used to, but I
Hmm.
think that's going to be a good thing. Um, Looking like future, I'm a little concerned about formats after that when we're getting like megas and whatnot down the road.
Basic three Brazzers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's a whole other
I don't
story.
think we have time for
Um,
another half-hour rant about
no,
that.
I just
No.
think like I it's hard for me not to think about that when I'm looking at what we're having at the start of this format because like we know the direction they're going. So what cards are going to start getting printed because like I feel like it's going to start getting like more turbo. I think we're going to start seeing cards that ramp up the speed of the game. We'll
Yep.
see.
All right, everyone. Well, I think that wraps it up. We're really excited to see what's happening in the future. We do have a few regionals, like we said, coming up. I'm really excited to talk about those. The final format for not the final format, but the final salute to F Block will be upon us very soon, and we will be covering it. And thank you all, as always, for coming out. We've been loving your support, and we get to see you in the next episode. Have a good night, everybody. See
Stay
you
safe.
there. Bye bye.
Bye.